Once again, like you said, you're not going to brag the way you should, but man, that's what Jake's mission is.
Jake's mission, to boldly go where no retard has gone before.
It's not about him. And like a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this fight. This fight for him wasn't about the fight. This fight for him was about inspiring young kids.
Jake Paul is inspiring young kids to go beat up old people. Kids, if you have a dream to beat the crap out of senior citizens, Jake Paul is leading the way. He showed you what is possible.
To find an outlet rather than doing something horrible.
Don't do something horrible. Beat the snot out of an old person. Okay, whatever horrible thing you were gonna do, don't do that. Just go find an old person walking down the street with a walker and just smash him in the back of the head with a baseball bat. Please let Jake Paul be your inspiration to do something so wonderful. Round of applause. Round of applause, everybody.
Let's go. Thank you.
Let's go. Did you hear this, retard? This is Pedo Paul. Okay, this is Pedo Paul. This is Jake Paul's dad. This is the one that gave Jake his bald genetics. Listen to him yell, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Let's go. Listen, you know how I feel about let's go. It's the war cry of the retarded. There's no excuse for saying it ever. But it's one thing if you're a Zoomer and you say it. It's another thing if you're an old, creepy perv, bald, wrinkled, and yelling let's go. It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Now this fight with Mike Tyson was absolutely inexcusable. But what's next? What's next for Jake Paul?
Who the f is next?
Everyone's biggest critique is like, fight a pro, fight this person, fight someone your age. So when I say Canelo is the person, then everyone hates on that.
No, nobody hates on that. Who hates on that? Who hates on that? I think we all want to see him finally fight a pro boxer, an active pro, not a 58-year-old former pro. Who's hating on this fight? I'm not hating on this fight.
So when I say Canelo is the person, then everyone hates on that. But I'm like, all right, sheep.
Sheep. He's calling us sheep. The sheep are his fans. The sheep are his fans. He only has fame and fortune because of sheep. If it wasn't for sheep, Jake Paul would be behind an Outback Steakhouse, trading hand jobs for peanut butter sandwiches. But he's calling us sheep. No, the people criticizing your pathetic joke of a boxing career have critical thinking. The sheep are the ones who support your dumb ass.
What do you want? Do you want me to fight someone? Like, people just want to see me lose. So wouldn't the best opportunity to see me lose be going up against Canelo?
I don't see anybody saying he shouldn't do that fight. Would it happen? I mean, Canelo's not going to take a dive like Mike Tyson did. Canelo's probably worth more than this clown. And he takes his boxing reputation very seriously. He's not going to throw a fight for this idiot. So I'm sure we'd all love to see Jake Paul get knocked into the afterlife within a round or two. I don't know what he's talking about.
Let's give a shout out to Tyson because he's a legend. Canelo's a legend. Tyson was willing to take the risk to lose to you.
Yeah, so Canelo
won't.
should.
When Canelo,
What? Oh my God, what a dumbass his dad is. So his dad is saying, oh, Mike Tyson took that risk to lose to you, but Canelo won't. First of all, there's no risk of Canelo losing to this Disney kid LARPing as a boxer. Number one. Number two, Mike Tyson only lost because that's what was written in the contract. Furthermore, he didn't care about having a loss to Jake Paul because I guess he figures he's old, whatever, let me secure another $20 million for my family. And he said it himself, he doesn't care about legacy. Canelo is a whole other beast.
the dude, when Canelo loses to
Did you catch that? Did you catch Pedo Paul? Listen to that. Listen to what he said.
The water, you did what you had to do.
when Canelo loses to you,
When Canelo loses to you. When Canelo loses to you. Wow. Wow. If you needed further proof that the Paul family is a bunch of retards, this is all you need. Now, speaking of other legit active boxers, check out who called out Jake Paul after the Tyson fight. Arthur Butterbeaver. He called out Jake Paul. He said, at Jake Paul, what can you do in ring against the current undisputed champion? Just know that I'm always open to any suggestions. So Jake claims to be clamoring for a fight with Canelo, but Canelo won't take it. Oh my God, he's ducking me. So what was Jake's response? Here, check it out. Jake Paul tweets back, just seen this. Top 5 pound for pound fighter in the world calling me out. Ha 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 ha. 4 years in and I run this sport. Translation, I just peed my panties. Let me check. Yeah, I should have worn a panty liner before checking my tweets. Oh, what a pussy. What an absolute pussy. Look, Arthur Butterbeaver offering Jake Paul a shot at his undisputed WA, WBC, IBF, and WBO light heavyweight world titles on Instagram today after the Mike Tyson fight. Well, Jake, you claim you want to be world champion 2 years. You claim you want to fight Canelo. Here's another guy, Butterbeaver, who's offering you a chance to take one of his titles. Let's fast track your title shot there, pal. I run this sport. Well, he is the self-proclaimed face of boxing. Now, let's stop kidding that he has any chance against a real boxer. All he's good for is more influencer fights. And here's a call out from Andrew Tate. Now, this one was from 3 years ago, but it's still worth a watch. Wait, hold up. What are those pants? So here he is coming out, smoking a cigar, trying to look like some sort of Romanian gangster with his expensive cars out here. But look at those pants. To have a real good look, we're going to need the most advanced video technology available to mankind. Zoom in on that. Pause. Right there. What are those yoga pants? Are those Lululemons? Are those Lululemons? Let's see, with the hand of truth. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. He's wearing yoga pants, trying to look like a badass doing a call out. He might as well be wearing a miniskirt, fingering himself while calling out Jake Paul. That's how intimidating he looks right now.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But
you know, he makes a solid point. He makes a solid point. These massive YouTube stars, TikTok stars, they are completely out of their mind delusional. The ones that got famous at a young age. You know what? Jake was 16 when he became a Vine star, came over to YouTube, instant sensation, goes into boxing, and he's knocking everybody out because behind his back, his management is paying them off to take a dive. He's absolutely delusional.
let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
It's true. It's true. And I think that's what annoys a lot of people about Jake's LARPing as a boxer. You know, he made $40 million to fight an old Mike Tyson, whereas people who've been training since they were 6 years old have to also drive Uber.
This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all.
Now again, this was like 3 years ago, and I think Andrew Tate has made a lot more money in the meantime. Because for that amount of money, Jake's not going to do it. Jake's not going to fight for 6 million. He just made 40 million off of the Tyson fight. Furthermore, I do not believe that Andrew Tate would take a dive because he realizes the value of his online reputation for his career. And losing to Jake Paul, he would just get clowned on forever.
I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man.
Retired old man, that's perfect. That's Jake's perfect opponent.
If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like you.
Now, even though he was wearing yoga pants the entire time, that was a pretty great call out. I'd like to see the fight. Will it ever happen? I doubt it. Now, Andrew Tate is not the only social media sensation to be calling out Jake Paul. Here's one nobody expected. Check this out.
That's something entirely different.
Yeah, like I felt like fighting Jake Paul when I seen it. To be honest.
First of all, look how Shannon Sharp just laughs in his face about fighting Jake Paul. So IShowSpeed here, he's talking about his reaction to watching the Mike Tyson fight made him want to fight Jake Paul. Now IShowSpeed weighs something like 165 pounds, and fatso Jake Paul is like, what, 230 now? And Shannon Sharp laughs right in his face.
I mean, that might, now you might need to stay away from that. You're not quite big enough.
Come on now, don't stop it.
Speed.
I can fight too. I
believe it.
I can do any sport.
The ego, the delusion. Like, is he an athletic kid? Sure. Can he do any sports? Sure. But can he compete? Now listen. I'm not trying to make it sound like Jake Paul is a great boxer, all right? But he has been training full time for like, what, 4 years now? And he outweighs this kid by 60, 70 pounds?
But it needs
If I have 6 months, just to learn a sport, I'm a professional at that sport.
This jackass thinks he can become a pro at any sport in 6 months. Now, this is what I was talking about, delusion with these social media starlets. This mongoloid made his first $1 million at the age of 16. Can you imagine that? At 16, I was working at McDonald's. And it's not just the money, the tens of millions of fans. It warps your brain at that young age. So this Mongo actually thinks in 6 months he can become a pro boxer. And says it doesn't matter if there's a 70-pound weight difference.
But
what?
What about the size discrepancy? There's a reason why they have weight classes. There's a reason. Middleweight, welterweight, bantamweight, strawweight, flyweight.
I gotta agree with him. Like, even though I have the power of a heavyweight, I've been bulking to move from 125 pounds to the 135 weight class. There are weight classes for a reason.
Super middle, light heavy, cruiser.
It's all in the ounces in the gloves.
Yeah, what is it, 135, you fighting like 8-ounce glove, 135 or above, you're fighting 10 ounces?
Doesn't matter. To be honest, I jumped over a car. When I believe I can do something, if I look at something and I believe I can do it, I know I can do it.
How is this mouth breather famous? Guys, listen, guys like him being multi-millionaires is proof that society is done. It's done, all right? And there's no fixing it. I'm just screaming into the void. I'm just screaming into a sewer tunnel. Speaking of which, this is the second time today I've screamed into a sewer tunnel. I filmed this entire video once before, had a technical glitch that wiped it out, and I'm starting over doing it again. So, I have a question for you. Does that earn your like on this video? I hope so. I hope so. Now, this guy says he can be a pro boxer in 6 months. But how about we have a look at where he's at right now as a boxer? Because, as it turns out, the same time this interview came out a few days ago, footage came out of him sparring UFC fighter Dan Hooker on IShowSpeed's own YouTube channel. Let's check this out. Okay, now this first spar they're gonna have is MMA rules, okay?
Let's build up though. Wait, relax, bro.
He's already scared and backing off.
Wait, just chill, bro. See, he's tweaking.
You're gonna coach him.
Just listen. Dan, we're gonna go that. Okay, we're not doing that already. Okay, just relax.
He's already scared. He's already scared. A single punch has not been thrown or landed.
Light spar, something light real quick. Okay? Our best. Something light. Why these gloves too small, bro? No. Wait, tell me, switch to boxing. I gotta go boxing.
He already quit. He already quit the spar. He was already terrified of sparring against Dan Hooker with the small MMA gloves, and now he wants to box with the big pillow gloves. Let's see how that goes.
Well, why you feel so big in the ring though? Like, can you just relax? Wait, just chill.
He's so scared. Now listen. Anybody who goes to let's say a boxing gym on day one, of course they're going to be scared of the guys in the gym that are better than them. All right. But the people doing that, those people being scared aren't saying, yeah, in 6 months from now, I'll be a pro boxer. Okay, so the criticism towards him is warranted. If this is how you're starting out, yeah, you're not going to be a pro in 6 months, jackass.
He's like, I know, but I'm trying to this. Let's wake up.
What do you mean?
Bro, just.
He's terrified of Dan Hooker's feints. Dan Hooker hasn't hit him yet. I mean, maybe Speed has watched too many videos of Sean Strickland beating up influencers, and he thinks it's going to turn out like that.
Work up the pace, bro.
I haven't hit you yet.
I know, but you just.
What a clown.
All right, you know what? Let me.
How many moves do you?
All right, come on. All right, come on, for real. Start in the middle. Let's start in the middle, okay? My side is.
Oh my God, I can't watch any more of this. This guy's such a pussy. And here's the thing. This guy's favorite sport is soccer, and that makes sense, because soccer is a sport for gays. It is the gayest sport we have. In fact, if you watched a couple of homosexuals bang each other's bunguses, it would be less gay than watching a game of soccer. So you can't be some pussy soccer player who throws themselves on the ground and starts crying when they don't even get hit to go in here and go, yeah, I could become a boxer in 6 months. Let me spar Dan Hooker. What an idiot. All right, now enough about social media stars trying to fight Jake Paul. How about actual boxers? How about actual boxers? We covered Butterbeaver. Who else would like to fight Jake Paul? This guy. Check it out.
And, you know, we don't know. It could be with, you know, it could be against Jake Paul. We don't know.
Okay, so I thought you and Jake were cool. Where do things stand now?
Now, first of all, I get lots of comments saying, is that Ariel Helwani in disguise? Is this what I look like? Is this what my nose looks like? My nose is literally perfect. I'm a goddamn international sex symbol. This is what you think I look like? In that case, you're as big a retard as any of these social media jackasses.
I know we're cool. We're cool for sure. But, you know, he was trying to beat up on Uncle Mike. We said we would run it one day. I mean, I started, you know, he came to my gym a long time ago in Victorville. Then he came to visit me with the Canal Cam. This is before he boxed. So I kind of like gave birth to his boxing career. So I'm here to end it.
Wow. Ryan Garcia wants to end Jake Paul's boxing career. Now, here's the thing. We got another weight issue. He's got, I think, an exhibition fight coming up, and it's at 153 pounds. Jake Paul's probably walking around 230 plus right now. The weight gap is enormous, but they cover that.
What would be, in your opinion, like the most fair weight for this fight?
If I fought Jake, probably like 185.
Well, like what are you right now?
Me, I'm like 165.
Oh my God, he's walking around at 165. Now, let's say they could meet at 185. He would have to eat up into 185, and I doubt he would even weigh in at 185. It would probably be less. Jake would have to cut. So fight night, Jake is going to be like 200 something, and he'll probably be back down to like 179. But you know what? I would still have Garcia beat him. Just like Mayweather beat Logan Paul, despite the huge weight difference and size difference. But here's the thing though, Jake will not fight at 185. In fact, that is the reason that KSI and Jake are saying that their fight will never happen. Because KSI is saying he won't fight higher than 185, and Jake says that now that he's put on so much weight, he cannot get back to 185. So even at 185, this fight is not going to happen. It'd have to be at like 200, and this guy would weigh in at like 180. So this is never going to happen. Let's hear what Ryan has to say about the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight.
What do you think of the Jake-Mike fight?
Honestly, it was probably what was expected. You know, Mike's a little up in age. He didn't have his balance correct. And it did seem like Jake wasn't really throwing at his fullest abilities. But
you know, it's funny that you see some of these pros not say that it was rigged. And the only reason that is because they're hoping to get fights with Jake Paul, to get a massive multi-million-dollar payday like Mike Tyson got. If he says, oh, that fight was rigged, you think Jake's camp is going to deal with him? No. He has to play along. Oh, that fight was legit. Let me have a legit fight with him. But we all know that fight was rigged. And I called it. I've been calling it for 4 months, and it played out exactly how I said it would.
Since you put out that tweet, has anyone reached out to you from his team to see if you're interested in this?
no, I really think they generally think that I'm probably too small. But like I said, I think skills pay the bills. You see Floyd when he fought Logan. Logan was way bigger than him. So I feel like I could do the same thing.
Yeah,
a little more.
I mean, given your start.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ryan Garcia wins that if it ever happened, and it probably won't.
I mean, given your stardom and his stardom, obviously, Jake versus Ryan is a gigantic fight.
Huge. It would be huge. And I see it everywhere. Everywhere I go, people are asking me to fight Jake Paul, which I got to give people what they want. That's what I'm used to doing.
How do you think it goes?
All right, let's check out his prediction for that fight.
I mean, if Jake fights the way he fought with Mike, I generally believe I would knock him out within 4 or 5 rounds.
Okay, wow.
Be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah, that fight will never happen, though. Now, Ryan Garcia used to be friends with the Paul boys. In fact, as he quickly mentioned here, he got them their start in boxing. They came over to his house and he gave them the bug, the boxing bug. We have him to blame for those two idiots staining the name of boxing. But then they had a falling out, it seems. And then Ryan Garcia vowed to destroy Logan Paul's prime beverage. I made a whole video about that. You really want to check this one out. And it's right here. Click on the link, baby.